What's up, folks? Welcome back to the latest episode of Two Beers, One Movie. Really happy to actually film these. The voiceovers were, I suppose they were okay. They do for a bit of a while. Trying to get some space in the house was a bit difficult as well. So there's like kids' toys everywhere, so you know yourself. Finally got a little bit of a spot with posters behind me. I don't know if you can see them all yet. So that's Social Network just behind me. I've got me beard as well ready to go, so we've got Moretti. So let's just get straight into it. And what we're going to be discussing today is Venom, Let There Be Carnage. A follow up obviously to Venom starring Tom Hardy. I wasn't really, I didn't really like the first one at all. I think I gave it a 4 out of 10 at the time. Very kind of 90s, noughties, cheesy. Script was a bit of a mess. And the follow-up actually is a little bit more enjoyable, although it still has kind of that 90s, noughties feel to it, but it's less distracting now more than it was in the first movie. The actual chemistry between Venom, obviously Tom Hardy is voicing Venom as well, and Eddie Brock is really good. It's kind of like a buddy comedy almost, and it's probably a lot funnier than most so-called comedies that Hollywood bring out. I think I laughed, I don't know, 7-8 times. So like, especially the first act, maybe the second act is really funny. There's a couple of really good one-liners there. Kind of the back and forth banter and the bickering between Venom and Eddie Brock is really good. It also stars Woody Harrelson. Basically, he plays a serial killer. He's getting sentenced to death row. Eddie Brock goes to he's basically writing an article about him, and he's not happy about the article. It doesn't explain his whole background. When Eddie goes to visit him, he tries to attack him in the prison cell. He bites Eddie on the hand. He swallows a bit of his blood. And then from there he creates Carnage. Woody Harrelson seems to be having a great time playing this role, and although the wig is quite it's very distracting, the wig at times. It's just, you can see it just doesn't suit him, but he is very into the role. He's enjoying the role. And with the first movie as well, it does kind of tail off a bit in terms of like the script being all over the place at times, especially the final act. There's a nice little nod to Game of Thrones' Red Wedding as well. I did enjoy it for the most part. It was, as I said, there's some really funny parts in it. Venom and Brock's chemistry is really good. Woody Harrelson seems to be having a really good time. It's still a bit like with Marvel. I'm a bit of a Marvel fan myself as well, not as much as some other people. I'm kind of getting drained with Marvel at the moment. It's real like, it's hard to even put into words of how draining the Marvel universe is now at the moment. And I know it's done by Sony. It's directed by Andy Serkis, which I'm a really big fan of his and everything he does, especially motion capturing. And even with the funny parts in this movie, it does feel like it's a weight on your shoulders, and it's kind of like, well, you know how it's going to go. It has the old Marvel one-liners. It has a bit of like the coming of age, the bit of heart there, the bit of the romance of the ex-lover, but it's still a bit of a drag. I do think after Endgame, I really did I would have likened them to take a break in it, and I probably more so will get into this in my review of Eternal soon. More so about how basically Marvel is it's become repetitive, the whole Scorsese versus Marvel thing. But I did read Paul Thomas Anderson's quotes on Venom 2, and he did enjoy it as well, and I did enjoy it as well. It was fun. it's basically a popcorn movie, I suppose. Not sure what else to make of it, really. It's just your typical Marvel movie. There's nothing really dynamic, there's nothing new. It's structured in the majority of ways that every superhero, or the majority of superhero films, especially the Marvel ones, are done. Like the first acts are always the same, the second acts are always the same. I'm not sure what to say, really, in terms of just like, I'm not trying to put the movie down, because it is fun. There's some good action sequences in it, but like obviously the first movie was a bit of a mess altogether. It just felt like it was thrown together. This had a bit more cohesion to the actual, just to the structure of the film, to the actual script. It felt more in the Marvel universe than the first one, saying there is obviously something in the end credits that I won't really get into spoilers, because I know people probably haven't seen it yet. So it does kind of lean towards more of the Marvel universe compared to the first one. But yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. Like, if you enjoy Marvel movies, if you enjoy popcorn movies, I know kind of the first Venom got a bit of a cult following out of nowhere, which I don't know why. It was pretty awful. And reading a few critics' reviews on this one, it seems to be changed on its head drastically, where the more Venom and the more Eddie Brock in it, together as a duo, together as the bickering, it really works. Woody Harrelson really works as the psychotic serial killer, and then obviously Carnage. Obviously there's other characters there just blended into the background just to be fillers almost. There's not really a lot more to say about it. I do think it's decent, and what I think I'll give this movie is probably 3 bears out of 5, which is basically obviously 3 stars out of 5. Yeah, so let me know what you think, guys. Did you just enjoy it yourself? Did you get the same kind of feeling I did? Are you getting drained with Marvel at the moment? Or are you totally against what I said? Are you so pumped up to see this Venom sequel? Did it meet your expectations? Did it go over your expectations? I'm getting really drained on Marvel at the moment, even though, as I said, I am a bit of a superhero fan. Maybe not as much as I would have been in my 20s or as a kid. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna do another one this week as well, hopefully Titan. It's a crazy movie, so we're gonna do that next. But please, like, subscribe. Hopefully you can communicate and comment and see what you think. And yeah, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode.